Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Maddie and I am the content creator and nutritionist behind the brand Nutritiously Easy. You can find me on YouTube, obviously, TikTok, Instagram, pretty much all the places. Today I just wanted to do kind of a quick chat because last week I started a new challenge called the Spring Glow Up Challenge. It's 60 days long and I've talked about it briefly on TikTok and Instagram, but I feel like it deserves a longer form video and kind of just going over, first of all, why I'm doing it, and second of all, like what it entails and why I think those things are important. So let's get into it. First of all, if you're interested in joining the Glow Up Challenge, I actually have a group chat with a bunch of girls. There might be some males in there, but it's definitely heavily female based on Geneva, and it's becoming such an amazing community. I'm loving the people on there. Everyone's talking about motivation, different recipes they're making, different workouts they're doing, like the hardest things for them and how they can like get some help or like they need some advice. It's very motivating. I'm honestly finding it super helpful. So I would love for you guys to join. If you're interested, I'll leave the link down below in the description, and then you guys can join the chat because it's really good energy and great vibes. Just a lot of people that care about bettering themselves and making themselves the best version of themselves this spring and summer. So I'm just gonna pull up on my phone the challenge so that I can read parts of it to you guys because I have it all here. So this is the Spring Glow Up Challenge. Like when I'm doing challenges, I literally just track it by days on my phone and like check things off because I find that like the most helpful. Like even if you go to day 8, I'm on day 8 of it. I've checked off the first 2 because I've already done those today. So I check things off as I go, and I'm just such a visual person that this like is such a good tool. Let's first just chat about why I'm even doing this challenge. So pretty much years ago when I started my health and wellness journey, I became really obsessed with habits and I became obsessed with bettering myself mentally and physically. So I was doing all the things that made me have a glow up, but it wasn't just physical, it was also super mental, and it was all very strategic. I was reading so many self-help books at the time. I was listening to every TED Talk. I was studying under like major nutritionists. I also went back to nutrition school, and I just started putting together this plan for myself on how to glow up. And at that time, I went from being this girl right here to being this girl right here. And it was like the biggest confidence boost of my life. Then the years passed and I was living really, really healthy, but I believe that last spring I had what I like to call my second glow up. I honestly feel like it was the best place I've ever been in physically, and I was in such a healthy place mentally as well, and my skin was radiating. I'll insert the picture right here. My body was super, super toned. Like I just felt so confident, and this is honestly the time where like I feel like my social media was really popping off as well because people could just tell I was living what I was preaching, and I was just like radiating some confidence. So then I moved to New York City last summer, and I feel like always moving to a new city is definitely an adjustment. You need to figure out your routines, you need to figure out like your lifestyle. Also, I would say moving to a city on top of that is a big adjustment. And then another adjustment is moving to New York City, where like a lot of the social life is revolved around like drinking and going out and a lot of eating. Like I feel like when I hang out with my friends, it's always at a restaurant. So the culture that I was living in Park City, Utah at the time was very different for when I moved to New York City. So I had to figure it out for myself. And I feel like we often put so much pressure on ourselves to figure things out so quickly, but I honestly didn't really put that pressure on myself. I was like, I need to figure this out for myself, what it means for me to be living in a big city again, and how I can make my routine work in a very different environment. I tried a lot of different fitness studios. I tried a lot of different like eating habits when it came to restaurants, all the things. So I feel like low-key end of fall, early winter, I kind of had like a de-glow up, and I'm not even saying that in like a negative self-talk way because I am such a advocate for how you talk to yourself. I'm just kind of being like brutally honest. I wasn't looking my best physically. I wasn't as mentally like bright and radiant as I had been in the past. I'm just like, I want to get back to being that girl that I loved and was kind of obsessed with, and I know I can be her again, so let's do it. I started like really brainstorming and writing down like everything I was doing last year at this time when I was having like that major glow up. And again, it was just very obvious that it was all just about my habits at the end of the day. Like it was just keeping consistent routines and just doing the things that make me really feel good and prioritizing those things. I feel like in the winter, for some reason, I naturally stopped doing a lot of things that made me feel really good because I didn't have enough time, or it was cold outside, or it was just so much easier to curl up in a ball and watch TV. So now I feel really inspired, very motivated to get back to those habits. I wrote them all down, and that's kind of where the Glow Up Challenge originated. And I want you guys to do it with me, first of all, because I think it will change your life. And then second of all, because I want you to help motivate me too. Let's all do this together. We're one big community, and it's amazing. So now I'm just gonna read the things that consist in the Glow Up Challenge and kind of why I do them. So the first one is waking up at a consistent time every single day of the week. That even means the weekends. Waking up at a consistent time every day has been seen to be amazing for your mental health. It also just puts your routine, your life in a more routine setting. Like you're probably going to bed at a more consistent time if you're waking up at a more consistent time. It also really helps with your circadian rhythm, and it just balances a lot of things out. The next one is 15 minutes of inner work every morning. Anytime in my glow up era, I am putting in so much love and gratitude into the inner work that I'm doing. I'm not labeling what inner work means to you because I think it can be different for everyone. And I've gone through different periods in my life where the inner work was completely different than a couple months ago. That can be meditation, that can be journaling, that can be reading a self-help book, that can be listening to a podcast, that can be prayer, that can be breath work. Like the list truly goes on. But you're just gonna take 15 minutes in your morning before you rush into your day and really focus on yourself, putting yourself as the priority. Because I feel like when I'm not in a good mental state, a lot of times I wake up from my bed and I like put on some random outfit and I just start like working right away. First of all, that's so bad for your dopamine levels. But second of all, it's not good for you to like not care about yourself in the morning and just to rush into being like reactive instead of being proactive. The next one, which I kind of took a couple of these from 75 Hard, but made them a little bit different. So with 75 Hard, which is another challenge if you're familiar with, they make you do one 45-minute workout a day plus one 45-minute walk. I personally feel like every day that can be kind of a time suck. And I get when people, especially like mothers or people that work like crazy hours, are like, I don't have time to do both of those. I totally get it. So with my challenge, it's just one workout a day and one walk, but there's no time constraint because I feel like a 15-minute workout is better than no workout, and a 15-minute walk is better than no walk. So it's more just, again, about building that consistency with working out every day and getting like outside and getting moving. I also say preferably outside for the walks because you want to get that sunlight, you want that fresh air. I also find that when I'm not working out consistently every day, that it's easier for me to not do my workouts because I'm like, oh, I'm like, say it comes to be Tuesday and I don't really want to work out. I can just be like, oh, well, I'm only working out 4 days this week anyway, so I just won't work out tomorrow. And I always can push things back. But if you know you're working out consistently every single day, you make it a consistent routine and it just becomes more of your schedule. There's no overthinking. You just know you have to do it, and it's amazing. The next one is you're gonna stick to a low sugar, high protein, fiber-rich diet. Any times in my life where I'm glowing up, I am eating not that much sugar because sugar is very inflammatory. It's also just as addicting and just as bad for us as drugs and alcohol, in my opinion. And also I'm eating a lot of protein because that's how you're gonna build muscle. That's how you're gonna look more toned. Protein also is super satiating. It keeps you full all day. It's amazing for your energy levels. And I can just say so many things about a high protein diet. It also keeps your blood sugar stable, which is so crucial for if you're trying to live a healthy life. And we're also just adding a lot of veggies in there. So a lot of fiber-rich foods into our diet, because fiber-rich foods are amazing for the gut health, and we want to build that really healthy gut microbiome as well. So like I mentioned, some of these are kind of similar to 75 Hard challenge, but in 75 Hard, you cannot drink alcohol. With me, like, I think that's amazing to not drink alcohol. I've gone through a lot of periods in my life where I went for a long time without drinking alcohol, but right now I'm prioritizing like community and being social, which I think is also healthy. And sometimes, especially living in a city that does revolve around getting drinks, and I don't really think that that's that toxic to be like, I want to have maybe a couple drinks a week. I'm not saying go out and binge drink, especially if you have to do a workout a day and a walk every day. You're not gonna naturally want to binge drink because that just makes that an awful experience. But I'm allowing alcohol, but what I'm not allowing in this challenge is sugary drinks, because that's a waste of calories. It's also just, sugary drinks are really bad for your skin. It just is very inflammatory, and they also make you crave more sugar. They make you crave more food. So there's no sugary drinks. That includes like soda, that includes wine, that includes like fancy cocktails, that includes fruit juices. Like, there's no sugary drinks. So if you're gonna drink alcohol, it has to be just like a very clean version, like a tequila soda with an orange twist or limes or lemons. The next one, which a lot of the girls in the chat think this is the hardest, which is very interesting, but you have to drink a gallon of water a day. When I was in my glow up era, I was literally chugging this thing at all times. This is a half a gallon. I do 2 a day. Add some electrolytes. It's so good for you. And chug your water, because water is so good for your body. It just makes everything in life better. It makes your mental health better, your skin better, your body physique better, your mind health. Like, water is king. Chug more water. The next one is 5 minutes of positive affirmations, looking at the mirror every day. This is to work on being the best version of yourself. And I find that self-talk is so important for building confidence. So that's something else that we're adding, because again, this is not just physical. This is also a glow up mentally and how we feel about ourselves, the confidence we're radiating. So 5 minutes of the positive affirmations. I like to habit stack this and honestly just do it when I'm doing my nightly skincare. I either play affirmations on my phone, I can list a couple links below, or I just like think about something that maybe I don't have the best self-talk with, and I take that into a positive way. Like, so say I am beating myself up about my body lately, I will literally just repeat to myself out loud, like, I have the most beautiful body, I am so toned, I am so confident in my body. Like, I will just take those 5 minutes and just, you know, give myself a mental pep talk. The next one is very, very hard for a lot of people, but it's necessary. It's so needed. I feel like our culture is just so much on their phones, and it's so easy to scroll, especially at night, which not only ruins your sleep, but it's also just so much information that you're just putting into your brain every single night. That's like an overconsumption of media. So it's reading at night instead of scrolling. If you're really, really tired and don't feel like reading, you don't necessarily have to read, but you just can't scroll at night. You can just go to bed. But if you're gonna do something in your bed, it has to be reading. That's an amazing one. It also helps me go to sleep. I've also read so many books in the time period that I do this, and it's just really productive. It can be fiction, it can be nonfiction, whatever works for you. Okay, and then lastly, the last one's not like an everyday thing, but every 2 weeks, you're gonna take a progress picture. Every 2 weeks, you're gonna take a progress picture of your body in the same outfit. And then I also want you to do it of your skin, because your skin plays a role into the glow up too. I prefer to do progress pictures over going on a scale and looking at your weight, because first of all, the scale doesn't show when you're building muscle. So you can be gaining muscle and your weight can be staying consistent while you're still losing fat, because muscle weighs more than fat. Also, the scale, I feel like, can be a toxic relationship. I've never loved it. I don't really like my clients to be using it. So I prefer progress pictures because you can see a lot more. And I feel like If you look good and you feel good, that's all that matters. Why does a random number matter? So that's the whole challenge, and I would love for you guys to do it with me. It's not too late to join the group chat like I mentioned. We have girlies that are pretty much joining every day and starting it when they're signing up, but I started it like 7 days ago. I would love for you guys to join. I just want everyone to feel so good about themselves physically, mentally, emotionally this year, and yeah, just glow up this spring and summer. That's like the only plan, and I'm excited. I'm already feeling really good day 7 doing this. I know a lot of my friends have been texting me about it. A lot of girls have been sliding into my DMs that they're feeling really good a weekend doing this. So join it if you want, and we can all glow up and motivate each other. Thanks again for watching my video. If you guys have any videos that you want me to do next, leave it in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon.